Hi everyone, I'm Ophelia Jacobson with Campus Reform. Welcome back to our channel. Today I'm joined by a very special guest, Campus Reform correspondent Logan Dubil. Logan has been dealing with a lot of backlash recently on campus for his coverage of a story that he broke with campusreform.org. His school, Point Park University, recently sent out an email to its students saying that action could be taken if students didn't use an individual's preferred pronouns or if they misgendered an individual. Again, Logan broke that story. It's been covered by Fox News now, the New York Post. Logan himself went on the Ingraham angle to talk about this story, and ever since then, he's been facing some backlash. So he joins us today to talk about this. Logan, thank you so much for coming on to our channel.
Thank you so much for having me.
So let's just start off with the basics. Give us a rundown of what's been happening right now at your school.
Yeah, so obviously the story went nationwide. I'm grateful for all the opportunities I've been given so far to, go on news channels, give comments to other news sources, just to kind of go over what the current situation is like here. The responses have been good and bad. Obviously, I go to a very liberal campus in a very liberal city of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That being said, a lot of people are not really supportive of the work that I have been doing regarding this specific story. Received a lot of threats, a lot of harassment on social media. There's currently a petition that was created by a student here to get me removed from campus for being, quote, transphobic. It has been crazy. That petition to this day has 501 signatures the last time I checked, which is about like 10% of our campus. So it is kind of concerning that many students are comfortable signing a petition to get someone removed from campus just for having a differing opinion. That's something that not only I should be concerned about, but any college students, anyone going into college, or even any parents who have students in college. I feel like everyone should support everyone's First Amendment right, and clearly mine is not being supported on campus right now.
And you mentioned the petition. It has 501 signatures. That's insane that it's 10% of the student population. I'm curious, has anyone actually come up to you on campus? Have they recognized you? Have they approached you in person since that petition was created?
I did have one student, which I didn't know who she was. Well, I don't want to use she, I might. I didn't know who the student was. I've never talked with the student before. They gave me a nice cursing out when I passed them walking into one of my classes. That's the only interaction I've had on campus so far. I have had a lot of people, stare, make eye contact, point. So I am aware that I am known on this campus for all of the work and all of the appearances I made in the past week or so, but luckily only that one interaction has been experienced so far.
Well, you've certainly made the name for yourself, whether that's a good or a bad thing on your campus. I'm not going to be the person to say that. But, all of this essentially happened overnight. How have you been dealing with that? What is your reaction? Have you really had a chance to sit down and think, okay, what is actually going on right now?
Yeah, when I first woke up, I thought it was my alarm going off, and it was actually one of the team members with Campus Reform calling me. So I answered the call thinking I was hitting snooze, and there you have it. I am on the phone with one of our management people here at Campus Reform, basically letting me know that I was booked for the Laura Ingraham show that night. So, that day that I was on that show was definitely one of the busiest days I have experienced in a long time. It started with me canceling my classes, doing mock interviews. That same day, I was also on a radio station as well. So that was 2 interviews in one day on this one story that has really gone nationwide. I have been able to kind of talk myself through it. I do have a lot of people that are very supportive, so it does make me happy that I do have a little bit of a backing with this. But yeah, a lot of it has been negative attention, especially through my school side. My school has yet to release any official statements about it, which they got to be holding off for some reason. They have been receiving a lot of backlash from parents, from students, basically from the nation. Like you said earlier, Fox News covered this, New York Post, Daily Caller, it's all over the place.
And, Logan, I can relate to your story in the sense that I've dealt with a lot of animosity for being a conservative on a college campus as well. Maybe I haven't had a petition made to kick me off campus quite yet, but it isn't the best feeling, just walking around knowing that there is a target on your back just because you are a conservative. So how are you dealing with it?
As long as my school is, supportive of the First Amendment, I know that the petition is not going to go anywhere. I have experienced a lot in the past at Point Park University that, is kind of opening up that option for something to happen due to the petition. But I mean, I guess just me realizing that the petition's not really going to go anywhere and it's basically just something for me to laugh at. That's helping me get somewhere with this.
I also want to bring in a tweet that your Student Government Association president tweeted on September 23rd. Dennis McDermott, he said, Point Park should strive to be the quote hellscape conservatives believe it is. I wanted to get your reaction to this. How does it feel to know that the odds are now being blatantly stacked against you and all other conservatives on campus?
I mean, it's a shame that any student government was comfortable enough tweeting that, or student government member was comfortable tweeting that here, but the fact that it was the president of our Student Government Association, that makes things a lot worse. How are conservatives supposed to feel welcome and included and respected on campus when an elected student official is, tweeting out things like that? It really is a shame. I wouldn't wish that on the other side as well. I mean, if this was a liberal issue where liberals on campus were upset with a conservative-based policy that was passed, I wouldn't want a conservative student government president to be tweeting, I wish that this was the hellscape that liberals say the campus is, because that's just not what you are supposed to do, especially if you're involved with student government. You were elected to represent the student body, and by tweeting something like that, you're only representing half of the student body at that point. And it is a shame. I hope that student government at my school, or even just the president alone, releases a statement kind of retracting that, because that just shouldn't be allowed, especially at the student government level.
And so what are your next steps with regards to this situation? What are you doing to either counteract anything that's been said about you or any petition that's been made? You said that the university hasn't come out with a statement yet. What are your next steps?
So today I was grateful to have a meeting with a student, well, not a student, a meeting with a administrative official here at the university. He works in the student conduct office. I sat down for about an hour and a half, kind of basically what we're doing now, just going over my story, going over my experiences. I also provided him with screenshot after screenshot of, incidents of harassment, threats, information about the petition. We believe that we found the student who started the petition, so more information and more kind of background is going to be checked out about that. And in the meeting, I was very honest with him that I think it's a shame that the school, has gone this long without putting out any statements or putting out any information about the incident. There's no way that no one has seen any of the media appearances that I've been in or read any of the stories about their school, especially when, people are hired to, skim the internet and look through and find media related incidences and address them. And it's been about a week since my original story broke and nothing's been said. So during the meeting I had with the administrator, I said that I expect the school to, release a statement sometime soon, especially a statement towards conservatives, letting them know that that their First Amendment rights are protected on this campus. Because as of now, we don't really feel that we are, like I said earlier, welcome, included. So that is, I guess, one of the first steps that needs to happen to get everyone, on the same level here at Point Park University.
And just a quick question on that. Who made that appointment to meet with the person from the administration? Was that you, or did they reach out to you?
Well, a couple of days ago, I believe it was on Friday, the Dean of Student Affairs reached out to me, kind of, going along the lines of, obviously things are a little bit crazy right now. We just want to make sure that you're doing okay. Basically just to respond to this email with your thoughts and your concerns. So I sent a very, very lengthy email bulleting everything that's happened in the past, and how I don't feel that conservatives are being respected on campus. I never heard back from him, but I believe it was yesterday or 2 days ago, I got an email from the Office of Student Affairs, basically saying that a mandatory meeting was created for me to go in and provide my side of the story. And I really took advantage of that by providing, screenshots. And the official I met with did seem like he cared a lot, which I guess makes me a little bit more comfortable about everything that's going on. I sent him a whole bunch of screenshots, like I said before, of harassment, about threats. I even filled him in on the petition, and someone called in to my place of work. I'm a server here in Pittsburgh. Someone called in complaining that I was a rude server and that I misgendered them throughout their meal. So students are not only trying to get me kicked off of campus now, but getting me fired from my job. So I filled the school in with everything that's going on, and he said that he would take this by a day-by-day basis, just, going out, contacting the students, and if action can be taken, he said that he will 100%, discipline the students who were involved in the bullying around this incident.
Well, I really applaud you for being courageous and really voicing your opinion in that meeting. That's so great that they gave you an opportunity to really say, hey, look, this is not just happening to me, but it's happening to other conservatives on campus. And you should use, my story as an example for how things need to change at Point Park. So again, I applaud you for your courage. Last question I have for you today. I know I mentioned before that I think a lot of students can relate to your story. What is your message to these students who may be going through a similar situation at their own school?
If you are going through anything like I'm going through, even if it is not to the full extent, obviously I'm not expecting conservatives across the country to, have petitions to get them kicked off of their campus. But if you're experiencing any sort of mistreatment on your campus, just know that you're not alone, and that the only way to make this change is, to stand your ground, to be vocal, and to not be scared about what others are going to think about your opinion. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, just as much as you are, just as much as your liberal friends are. And it's important that we all, respect the First Amendment and applaud free speech on college campuses.
Thank you so much, Logan, for joining us today for this interview. Thank you for standing up for truth and for standing up for conservatives, not only on your own campus, but campuses across the country. We at Campus Reform will continue to follow this story as it develops. So everyone be sure to tune in to campusreform.org for any updates that we have to the situation happening at Point Park University.